What's up, guys? It's another Motivational Monday with JT, and man, I was just thinking about a few different things on my drive into work, and I kind of really appreciate that time, that drive to kind of get your mind right, get ready for Monday, and man, that drive it's important, like kind of what you fill yourself up with to get mentally prepared for the week. But anyway, it's the weather's starting to change. We're in northern Kentucky, basically Ohio. I don't like to say that we're from Ohio, but that's basically where we're at. About 15 minutes south of Cincinnati. And in the weather, it's getting a little colder, and it is just reminding me of things that happen around this season, and being cold. And when I was probably 19, 20, I worked for a utility company in downtown Cincinnati, so I would have to drive downtown every day, and man, that was an interesting job. Just to I just did customer service, so people don't call the utility company to tell them that they're pleased with them and they're happy with their bill. So taught me a lot, man. Really taught me a lot how to talk to angry people. But anyway, I was working down there, and of course, in any big city like that, there's quite a few homeless people, and where we actually worked and where we parked was pretty far away, so I had a little bit of a walk to get in. I could take a bus. I always chose to walk. I just like interacting with people and stuff like that, and ended up I became friends with a guy that would kind of post up close to where the office was that I worked. He's an older black guy, and his name he called himself was Pokemon. That's how he introduced himself to me. That's when I would say hi to him. I have no idea what this gentleman's real name was. For all I know, his real name was Pokemon. We don't know. But just a funny dude. A person that I worked there for a couple years. I got to know him better, asked him about his life and all that, and I have a story to tell about that. But before I get into that, I want to say one thing about people that you see like that. Man, we're all a mental breakdown away from being in that spot. Most homeless people that you talk to are people that are on the streets. They've had a few or maybe just one really big traumatic thing that happened that pushed them over the edge where they didn't want to do life anymore. And that was kind of him. His wife had died, and then he just mentally couldn't or didn't want to, I don't know, to recover from that. And man, that's how he found himself in the situation that he was in. Still a great human being, a person that we can learn a lot from. And I think a lot of times we see people in these different spaces of life, and we assume so many things, that they're on drugs, that they're this, that they're that, and they very well could be. But and I wouldn't recommend young ladies to do this, but in my youth, I'm still young, but really spent a lot of time talking to people like this with a group of friends, and really interesting, man. And there's a lot of really awesome people that are out on the streets. But anyway, to kind of get into the meat of what we're going to talk about today, one day it was cold. It was a lot colder than what it is today. I think it was around Christmas time is when it was, and did the same thing I do every day. I had a 15-minute break at around 9 o'clock, and I would go. That 15-minute break, there's a coffee shop down the street, so typically I would get out, walk down there and get a cup of coffee. And a lot of times I would see Pokemon and I would buy him a cup of coffee. Most days I just would go because I was in a hurry, get a cup of coffee, bring it back to him. And this day it was super cold, so I was like, man, can you leave? You got anything? He didn't have a lot of his stuff with him that day. I was like, man, why don't you come on with me? We'll go down and we'll get a cup of coffee and we'll enjoy it together, and then I'll go back to work. So we go into the coffee shop and get a cup of coffee. He gets a large black one, and we sit down, we chat for just a little bit, and then I was like, man, I got to go back to work. But you're welcome to sit here and hang out, and for a long time, and just enjoy the warm. And he immediately told me that he was not allowed to do that. That he could not stay in this place. That he had been ran out of there before. All this stuff. And I was like, hey man, today's a different day. You are a customer today. You have a coffee that is yours. This is your ticket to sit in this space. And it took some convincing, honestly. Like, he kept going back and forth with me. I'm like, no man, stay. Like, this, you are a customer. You stay here. So I left, and left Pokemon there, and I went back to work. And it kind of got me thinking. A lot of times there's spaces in life, there's places in life that we want to go, that we feel like we don't have the qualification to get there, or we don't have, we don't look the right way, we don't act the right way, we can't get to this space. Well, that day, Pokemon walked in with me, and I'm nothing special. I'm just a person that was a customer of this place. And in turn, when Pokemon walked in with me and we got coffee, he changed his position from being a person that walked in that was not a customer of the store to being a customer, which gave him the right to sit there. And I think for us, all the things that we want to accomplish in life, the things that we want to do, it's so important of who we get paired up with and the people that we really choose to do life with. Because they can either bring us, and I'm not saying that Pokemon's the person that was bringing me down, nothing like that, just the example of it's so important that who you get yoked with, so that they can pull you into places that you didn't think that you could go, or you felt like you didn't have the right to be there. In my life, man, is really an example of that. Everything that we've ever accomplished, I think we're pretty talented at what we do, but besides that, it's so much more important of who you know and who you do life with. So today, I think a way to reflect on this, and a way for me to reflect personally, is looking at the relationships that are in your life, and are they adding real value to you? Are they adding something that's taking you to the next level? And I'm not saying that we disown people. I'm not saying that because a person's not. We all, it's kind of like a ladder. Like, sometimes you're pulling people up, and then sometimes people are pulling you up. But I promise, if you're constantly pulling people up and you have no one to pull you up, you will fall down, because you'll get tired. And kind of the analogy that really plays better to that is a cup. Like, if you're pouring water in a cup and it's just constantly overflowing because it has a source that it's just constantly overflowing, it's way easier to pour your water into somebody else's cup. But if you have nothing to refill that cup with, then it's going to run out and you're going to have nothing. So again, that's why it's so important to choose wisely the people that really get to speak into your life. There's a huge difference of someone that's just speaking to you and someone that's actually speaking into you. And I think it's real important to know the difference of the two of those. So just to wrap it all up in a bow, man, just choose your company that speaks into your life wisely, and just link up with people that are pulling you into something that's so much better. So we love you. We hope you have a great Monday. Get after it. See ya.